Hello everyone, it's Thursday and that means it is Q&A live from the Digital DJ Tips studio. This is where we throw our doors open to all and any questions about improving your DJing. Whether you want advice on your gear, on your music, on your techniques, how to use the DJ gear you've got, on how to play out, how to play gigs, how to play live streams, or how to get more gigs, how to promote yourself, how to market yourself, whatever it is you need help with, we are here to help you. We are Digital DJ Tips, the leading online DJ school, the people behind the best-selling book, audiobook, Kindle book on Amazon, Rock the Dance Floor, but also the people behind 25 DJ courses. From names like James Hype, DJ Angelo, Layback Luke, forthcoming from Jazzy Jeff, and of course from our in-house talent here at Digital DJ Tips. So if you want to learn DJing, you're in the right place, and if you want to hang around for the next 45 minutes or so, we're just going to chat DJing together, and it's all about you, so come and ask questions. We're live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. However, the best place to be is Facebook, because the questions you ask will remain underneath the live stream as it turns into a recording, and our team can get to you and answer your questions down there if we don't get time to do them on the live show, which is always the case because we always have far too many questions than we can answer live. Right, shall we get started, people? Let's head over to what we love to call the comment cam, in other words, the broom cupboard here at Digital DJ Tips, where I can see all your comments. Hashtag ask as well, hashtag ASK, if you want to be sure of me seeing your questions. I have a better chance of me seeing your questions live. So hello to Modish Mark and Roberts in the Netherlands, says it's very, very rainy. Hello to Birchie and Wigan in the UK. Hello to GM and Ben here at Digital DJ Tips. Hello to Big Joe Joyce and BCF Madara, Papa D in Miami, Salvation Drum and Bass, David McCann, all our regulars down here. Hi to Mickey and Sarah. Sarah, not seen you for a while. I hope you're well. And the Ruckus as well, the old Balcony Beats crew there. Hi to Joe and Jermaine and Keith. We are very, very busy today as ever. But let's get started with our first question. This is from Mark. Hi Phil, do you know if it's possible to sync beat source cue points across devices? I mainly use Serato, but I'd like to sync the cue points to my prime go-to. Thanks so much. So what this is streaming. So plugged into your DJ software nowadays, you have streaming services, BeatSource, Beatport, SoundCloud, Go Plus, Tidal, and these streaming services are a great way of getting music to DJ with without having to buy music. But the problem is that you need to do stuff to your tunes in order to DJ with them. You need to put cue points on them and loops and all that kind of stuff. And you can do that. You can do that with Serato. You can do it with Rekordbox, with Engine DJ, which is what the Denon DJ Prime and the Newmark Mix Stream Pro standalone units use. You can add cue points and stuff, but the problem is right here, right now, they do not carry from device to device, from software to software, and there is no way of doing that, unfortunately. It is not something that is currently included. Wouldn't it be great if it was? But it's not, so you are going to have to redo those, I'm afraid, Mark. I just can't think of another way around it, other than I do think, I now have a little alarm bell ringing in the back of my head. I do think the people behind DJ Conversion Utility, Mixmaster G, oh, I'm terrible with Mixmasters, I get all my letters muddled up. Over there in the Netherlands, actually, I do think that they had a piece of software that might help with this, but I'm really not sure. So if you are with us today, please do chime in and help Modish Mark, who is on YouTube. But I'm not sure about that, but there we go. But yeah, it is, you know, the thing with streaming, with streaming music from Beatport, BeatSource, SoundCloud, Tidal, is that it's kind of like early days for that stuff, and there's still a lot of rough edges that need to be ironed out to make it a little bit more like using your own music, and we're not quite there yet with it. Thank you to my colleague Ben for doing the live session last week for me while I was off. Saw your replay, good stuff, says the Ruckus, so that's great. Glad that you got value from Ben's. David has got a question for Ben and Scott, our support team. I know Ben's watching this now, so there you go, Ben. If you can deal with this for me from David, that'd be good. Hello to Technobeat over there in the Philippines. So Papa D, is there a difference between XLR cables for audio and XLR cables for DMX, can they be used interchangeably? That is a brilliant question. It's something I've always wondered about, and I do not know. I would say that the XLR cables that you use for audio need to be a higher grade in order to do their job. Whereas for me, the ones you're using on DMX, which is lighting, so when you, I'm just trying to look at something with an XLR socket on it, this will have one. So this is a rain mixer, right? And on the back of here, we have these sockets here, which are XLR. Yeah, you see where my fingers are? And these carry a very clean signal across very long distances because you've got your two terminals that carry the positive and negative with your audio signal. And the third terminal is simply shielding. It's like it literally is, put that way again, a physical shield around the audio to stop any external hum and buzz and interference from messing up your audio signal as it goes a long way from the mixer off to the PA. With DMX, and DMX is the same as MIDI, it's the way that lights talk to each other, just in the same way that with musical equipment, synthesizers and drum machines and sequencers, MIDI is used for them all to talk to each other. With DMX, I don't believe that you need that shielding. I don't believe it's important. You just need the 3 pins. So I would imagine DMX cables can be a little bit less high quality and still do the job, but the same cable used in audio might not give you the best results compared to an audio cable. But I'm winging it. I don't know for sure. So Papa D is on YouTube, but if anyone's got a better answer to that, whether XLR and DMX can be used interchangeably, please do share. Hello to Adam. Mickey says, I'm going to sell my XC6000s and my X1850. This is the standalone Denon DJ gear because it's too big. Should I go for a Prime 4 instead? Well, the Prime 4 is also quite big. Why don't you go for a Prime 2? But yes, it's going to be smaller and lighter. So yeah, you should. If you like the look of that, no reason why you shouldn't. You wouldn't miss too much functionality that way. You're using one screen in the middle instead of 2, but apart from that, you're good. Hello to Cracker and Stefan and Rob and Noah over there in Brooklyn. DJ John Roback. So many regulars here today, as always. I do appreciate you. Thanks for being here. So Cracker FPV, your question. Digital DJ Holdings, yes, that is from us. If you've got any questions at all about your courses or your subscriptions, just fire an email off, info@digitaldjtips.com, and my team will get back to you within a day. We are religious about getting back to you and looking after you guys there, so do that, please. So DJ Conversion Utilities, great software. We were talking about that a minute ago, says Stefan. So there we go. Hello to You Don't Like My Music. Morning to you too. Colin, hi Phil. What's your view on Native Instruments' announcements that there may be a new piece of hardware in the pipeline for Traktor? Are they back in the game or not? Well, look, they never left the game. They just took their eyes off the ball a little bit, I think. The thing with Traktor is it's probably used by 10% of DJs, maybe 15% out there. But those who do use it for a reason. It's the best platform for pure electronic music audio DJing. It's got the tightest beat grids, the tightest looping, the tightest loop moves, the best effects, the best audio quality. If you are a purist electronic music DJ, Traktor is probably the best platform for you. And so I don't think it's going anywhere. The name's too big and it is good at doing that. It's just that all the other stuff, you know, you want flexible beat grids so you can use different types of music that aren't electronic. You want video, you want, well, they've just actually started to put streaming services into it. All those kind of things that the next gen DJ software are offering, Traktor doesn't offer. But what it does do, it does very well. So I wouldn't say they're out of the game, but it certainly is interesting to see that they've got some hardware coming. I mean, that's got to be good news, right? Hello to Lou. Keaton, do you have any videos? Oh, lots of people wanting to know about lighting. Do you have any videos on setting up DMX lights? I'm a Rekordbox user who doesn't want to move to Prime. Well, I mean, there's two things there. Moving DJ software and setting up DMX lights. But there's actually a couple of books I can recommend to you by a friend of mine. So we're going to head over to the Digital DJ Tips bookshelves here. And I'm going to try and find the books on lighting which I recommend to you. So they're these two here. These are by Jordan Nelson. These are a pal of mine, and I'll show you them. Let's get a camera here that I can show you a close-up of these books. They are called DMX for Mobile DJs and Building a Mobile DJ Light Show by Jordan Nelson. This is the kind of beginnery one, and this one is a little bit more in-depth. So if you're interested in seriously getting into setting up a lighting rig for your mobile DJing or for the club you work in or whatever, I thoroughly recommend these books. They're by Jordan Nelson. So you will find these on Amazon, and they're very good. So this is where I would send you if you're interested in getting involved in that. We don't have videos on it, but these are the books that if we did have a video on it, I would work with Jordan to make it, because I respect the guy. He's a mate of mine. So there you go. They're the books to go for. So go and take a photo of that now. Good. Hope you got that. So we should do some training on DMX lighting, actually, because it is something that we do get asked about with quite regularity. Thank you for that question, Keaton. Technobeat says, how is the M1 chip when you run Rekordbox on a MacBook? Did it run smoothly, or are you still having bugs and stutters? My uncle was planning on upgrading from his 2014 MacBook Pro. I think Rekordbox has sorted all that out now. You can check on their website, but I think that's probably all fine to use now. We haven't got an M1 Mac here at all. We've got M1 chips in our iPad Pros, but not in any of our Macs. So I personally couldn't tell you, but I think that will probably be fine for you. Reza, I had my first gig on Sunday. Well done. And it went well, and the client called me back for more gigs. But during prime time, I got too many requests, which removed my ability to mix, and instead I was just playing songs like a jukebox, right? What do you recommend? Look, requests are simply that. They are requests. Your job is not to play everything that people ask you. Your job is to play the music that's right for the people in front of you right now. I would say you need a pad and a pen, and you need to hand it to people and say, write down what you want. I will try my hardest to play it. You don't have to play everything people ask for. Just remember that. They're requests. They're not demands. It's important to have a way of dealing with requests, because the thing with requests is they're never going to go away. This is always going to be something you need to deal with as a DJ. So have a request policy, think it through, think how you're going to handle it, and stick to it. It can be hard, but you can do it. Now, we have got articles about this on Digital DJ Tips. So if you head over to the Digital DJ Tips website, and let me get this up for you now so you can see it. Seems to have dropped off. There we go. There's the website. So if you go to the little, this is a little tip for you. At the top right hand corner on the Digital DJ Tips website, there is a little magnifying glass. You click on the magnifying glass, it will bring up a search bar, and then you can type requests into the search bar, and this will bring you up our articles. So for instance, how to handle requests when DJing. This is a recent article. And if you just go and take a look at that, you'll find that there are lots of tips on the best way of dealing with them. So I would recommend, if you are struggling with dealing with requests, go and take a look at this article that was published only a month ago, a couple of weeks ago actually, on Digital DJ Tips. It's bang up to date with all our latest thinking on how to deal with this. So go to the website, click the search bar. I've taught you something here because that's a great way to find all kinds of stuff out. We've got literally about 6,000 articles over the last 11 years. That sounds too many. Maybe we have. Anyway, there's several thousand. So go take a look there, Reza. Thank you for that. JP says hello to you too. I'm moving my music out of iTunes / Apple Music and into my music folder on my new MacBook Pro. Playlists by genre are helpful to me. Any tips or thoughts on organising this? So I would say the best way to organise your genre lists is to do it in your DJ software. So just put all your music into the music folder on your MacBook, just in one big folder, all your music, every track. There's no need to have folders in there. There is maybe a very small argument to have year folders in there. So basically have music 2021 and everything you buy this year goes in there. Then at 31st of December, 1st of January, set up a new folder called Music 2022 and everything goes in there that you buy next year. A very small argument for that, but I don't even do that. It just all goes in one folder. Then inside your DJ software, have your genre lists. So the genre lists can be done in two ways. The first way is just to have a folder called house, a folder called hip hop, a folder called pop, a folder called rock, or whatever your genres are. and then drag the tracks from your main library into those folders. Or a cleverer way is to use your smart playlists or your intelligent folders or whatever they're called to set up a rule that says if genre contains house, put it in the house folder. If genre contains techno, put it in the techno folder. And then when you add music, they'll just automatically go into those folders. That's the way I would do it, JP. I would do it within my DJ software and not within folders inside my operating system. Michael, when you play your music and it stutters or snap, crackle and pops, would that be software or a cabling issue? It's software. You want to go into the buffer settings or the audio output settings somewhere, and there'll be a slider that will go from low to high, and you want to set that a bit higher. And what that does is allow a few more milliseconds for your software to process the audio before spitting it out the other end. What's happening is you're trying to do too much on your computer, and your computer can't handle getting the audio out within the time that is telling it to do it. So if that is saying, whatever, I want you to send the audio out from this software within 4 milliseconds to the speakers, you know, there'll come a point where the computer's working too hard and it can't do that, so it stutters. But if you set that to 20 milliseconds, which you won't notice on your gear, then it probably will have more time to do it and everything will run more smoothly. Right, people, you are with Digital DJ Tips. This is our Thursday Q&A live. Whatever your DJing questions, gear, music, techniques, playing out, promoting yourself. I'm Phil Morse. I'm the owner and founder of Digital DJ Tips, and I'm here to help you. We go live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch for 45 minutes, an hour, every Thursday at this time, and I simply throw open the doors and answer your questions as they come in. If you enjoy this and you want more like it, get onto that URL, digitaldjtips.com/join. It's free. You get a copy of our book and you also get a copy of our gear guide. But more importantly, I can let you know when we have free tutorials and reviews and more live shows like this. Become our latest member. It will cost you nothing. digitaldjtips.com/join. And let's carry on with your questions. So this one is from Howard, who says, how does sourcing music from a personal collection on Google Drive or Dropbox work? Well, you mean how does having your music on those services work? So here's how I do it. I can only tell you how I do it. I have on my DJ computer my music, right? Nothing unusual there. But that music is inside, because I use a Mac, it's inside my iDrive, and that music gets automatically backed up to the cloud. And then I can also access that music from other computers. So I'm talking to you now on our production computer. I don't have my music collection on my production computer necessarily, but I can go into iCloud Drive, and actually I do because it's got a big hard drive. But anyway, I can go into iCloud Drive and download it if I want it. What that gives me is two things. It means that my personal music collection is available to me whenever I want it in the cloud. So for instance, say my laptop got destroyed, I could buy a new laptop and very quickly download all my new music to it. In fact, once I logged in with iCloud, it would just happen automatically in the background. But also it means that my DJ software, were I to have like my DJ software on two separate laptops, like for instance, I have my DJ software on a backup laptop, it would also have that music as well. So I think it's a good idea to back up your music. You should back up your music in at least two places. One physical place, like literally a hard drive that you keep on top of your wardrobe, and once in the cloud. And this is my kind of cloud version, how I do it. So that's one way of doing it. But another way of doing it, which is really, really nice, if you don't mind paying for it, mind you, I pay for iCloud. Anyone pays for cloud storage one way or another. But if you're a Dropbox user especially, and you're a Rekordbox user, you want to take a look at Rekordbox Pro. Because what Pioneer DJ has done is said, okay, you already pay for Dropbox, so why don't you let us pay for your Dropbox, and instead you pay for a Rekordbox subscription. So it might cost you a few dollars more or whatever, but basically they'll give you a Dropbox that you can use for everything, all the stuff you use for now, your files, your work folders, your videos, your whatever, but also your music. But the really nice thing is that Pioneer DJ will back up everything in there in Dropbox for you. So basically on your Rekordbox, you can have your music locally, but you log into Rekordbox on your phone, because Rekordbox has a phone app, on any other computer, and you can immediately access not only your music, but all your cue points and your loops and your playlists and all the stuff that is separate from your music files. It's really nice, and it works pretty well for a version 1.0. They only launched it 6 weeks or so ago. So if you're a Rekordbox user, you should look seriously at that, especially if you have a backup computer, or you've got a work computer and you sneakily got Rekordbox at work so you can do some prep in your lunchtime or whatever, it just makes it very easy to have all your stuff when you need it, where you need it. So it's an interesting thing that Rekordbox has added that no one else currently has got, which is your whole library and all the metadata and so on in the cloud. They do it via Dropbox, but they pay for your Dropbox for you. So you just pay one subscription to them. Take a look at that. Gaming Dad says, any news on a Den and DJ Prime Go 2? No news at all, but I'm looking forward to that one as well, if and when it ever happens. So JP Lacey says, no, you shouldn't use DMX cables for audio. They're not the same. I'd love to know what's different about them though, JP Lacey, but thanks for sharing that. When listening to my mix, I find that the first drop of a song comes in loud, but the volume drops after 2 bars. This doesn't happen to the song on Spotify. Any reason for this? It could be that you are pushing your DJ software too hard and that the limiter that's built into your DJ software is kicking in. Just try doing everything at a lower volume and see if that continues to happen, Big Joe. That's what I would say is probably happening there. So Amar says, what's the best way to train on a setup that's similar to standard CDJs or DJMs other than the DDJ 1000? I need to prepare myself for a gig next year, but I can't get my hands on a DDJ 1000 because of shortage of availability in Germany. And Amar is on Twitch, so hello Twitch family. Look, any Pioneer DJ gear that's designed to work with Rekordbox will give you at least a taste of what it's like using club gear. For instance, here in the studio today, we've got this one set up, the DDJ 200. This is laid out a little bit like club gear. So you've got your mixer up the middle here, and you've got your cue and loop, your cue and play pause in the same way Pioneer has them here. And that is close to club gear. You've got your tempo faders in the same place. As soon as you move up though to slightly bigger Pioneer gear, it starts to become really very similar to club gear. And I'm just looking to see what I've got here. If I go off camera a second, please accept my apologies for this, because I'm going to the Digital DJ Tips gear store, which is out of view, but it does exist. It's over here. And I'm looking for the little DDJ 400. I can't actually see it, which is a shame, because that was the one I wanted to show you here. But there it is. I've spotted it. No, I haven't. Something else. What have we got here, though? Here I have the DDJ 800. Now, this is one you can't get your hands on, but trust me when I tell you this. I know where the DDJ 400 is. It's in my home. I remember now. It's stuck in the hall at home. I was using it for some work down there. Let me just zoom this main camera out so that you can see this, and let me talk to you about what's similar between this and club gear. So this is the DDJ 800. Now this is only a 2-channel DJ controller. It's not very big, but it's very, very professional, and it's very, very similar to club gear. So the mixer section has got your club effects on off and your club strip of effects down here, which is very, very similar to club gear. You got your color effects here, very similar to club gear, and the decks have got the same layout of the looping functions and the cue call for the memory cues and so on. It's very, very similarly laid out. Apart from this, which is different to club gear, this is going to feel very similar to DJing in a club. So maybe you can get your hands on an 800, which would solve the problem. Even the DDJ Flex 6, FLX6, will feel very, very similar. And that is not in any way professional gear. It's just a big consumer controller. But that also will feel very similar to using club gear. So really, you ought to find any Pioneer gear that has been made recently will feel more or less like it. I mean, in all honesty, this little one that I started with is so limited. I probably wouldn't recommend using that. But the DDJ 400, which is the next one up, definitely you're going to get a bit more of a feel. Like I say, it's sat in my hall at home, waiting for me to bring back here. And I knew that would trip me up, leaving it there, and it just has. So yeah, hopefully you can get it. Or just go to the club and say, please, can I use the gear, you know, in the daytime or in the week or whatever, when the place isn't open. If you know someone who runs a club you're going to be playing at, they quite often will let you do that. I used to do that. Used to go and practice in the club. Used to love it, turning the sound system up and banging the tunes out on a Tuesday afternoon. Anyway, John, I'm looking at getting a pair of Gemini CDJ 700s, brand new, only used once. Still use CDs and I can't afford Pioneer. You're just telling me that, John. Okay, fair enough. Thanks for telling me. Hello, Ivan. Hello, Philip, who otherwise DJ Bingo. I'm sure John was actually looking for me to say, yes, definitely go for that. I personally would be careful buying non-brand name, and frankly, I think Gemini is a non-brand name nowadays. CDJs, you might struggle to get them mended, and I don't think they're going to be as reliable as. I'd try and get the little Numark NDX 500s. I think they were called NDX 500s, the Numarks. I don't rate Gemini gear at all, unfortunately. I've seen too many problems with that stuff. This is the Numark ones. If you can get your hands on these, and I don't know if they are available where you live, but these are a really nice little CD player. They work with Serato as far as I can remember, and in fact this whole range, I just think these are more reliable than the other brands that are out there. So if you do need to buy a budget CD player, my advice would be to go for a Numark one. Well, the NDX 900 looks like it is discontinued, but it looks like the other ones aren't. So that would be my advice. Maybe you weren't asking for advice, but I figure reading between the lines, you could have been. So sorry, I didn't give it immediately, but I hope that helps, John. You don't like my music says, has anyone else noticed way more exclusives on Beatport? I think more producers are starting to eschew the streaming services. Remember, Beatport is a streaming service, so I'm not sure that's the case. But yeah, I mean, these services all like to have their exclusives, so I haven't noticed that, but maybe that is indeed the case. DJ Paul, what's the best phono cables to use with my mixing deck and turntable? So a phono cable is basically a cable, again, let's go over to the main setup here, and I'll try and show you one. In fact, I've got to go off setup. What you guys don't see is here we have a cable, we have a cupboard full of cables, and I've just grabbed one. So this is a phono cable, otherwise known as an RCA to RCA cable. Let's have a closer look at that. So this has got two of these RCA connectors on it, and the idea is that one of them plugs into the back of your record deck and the other one plugs into the back of your mixer, and it carries the left and right signals from the record deck to the mixer, and the mixer has what's called a preamp in it. When you set the mixer to phono, which I've just done there, it's got a phono written on it here, this will take the very weak signal, because if you think about it, a record deck doesn't need power. If you power off your record deck and keep turning the platter by hand, with the needle on a real record, you'll still hear the music. There's no power going into the arm on a record deck. It's just a very, 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 very weak electrical signal that's being created by the grooves of the record vibrating a magnet against a coil. And that coil of metal with the magnet moving against it sends the tiniest signal down this cable, and it arrives in your mixer. When it gets into your mixer has what's called a phono preamp, which amplifies it and makes it loud enough for the usual amplifier in there for the mixer to do its job. So these are the cables that you need to connect your record deck to your mixer. Now, if you've got Technics turntables, they have a cable built in. It just comes out the back of it, and you plug that one in. But if not, you just need some of those. Just get good quality ones, because otherwise you're going to break them. So they're the ones I showed you there. Is the DJ Tech Tools one, which is a nice cable. That's a DJ Tech Tools Chroma cable, but others are available as well. Just try not to buy the very cheapest ones, because they'll last longer if you spend a little bit more money on a good one. Right, Craig's question. Hello Craig on Facebook. Is there an option to get the same size controller as a DJ to go to touch that I can get, even if discontinued, that will run rekordbox? I love these tiny controllers, but I don't want to use Serato. Right, okay. I don't think there is. I mean, you could possibly map rekordbox to one of these. I haven't tried it, which is why I hesitate to recommend it. This is the controller that Craig's talking about. A really cool, tiny little device. It's got a built-in audio card, so you've got your headphones there. You've got your microphone, sorry, your headphones and your speaker outputs. So it works like a proper DJ system. You've got your level controls and your cues and all this stuff. These you can even scratch on. They actually work. So they're really nice little controllers to throw in your bag and just have to DJ practice anywhere with. But they are for Serato. I think they work pretty well on Virtual DJ as well. And they work on Algorithms DJ Pro. I suspect that you could map these to rekordbox. There might even be mappings for rekordbox for these. I don't think there's any restriction on mapping the jog wheels, which should be the thing that trip you up to rekordbox. The reason I'm hesitating is I haven't seen anyone do it. But if you search for rekordbox DJ to go to touch mapping, just search for that in Google. I suspect you'll find one. I suspect the place you'll land will be the DJ Tech Tools mapping site. And I think you'll probably find that there is a way of doing that. But if not, this is the smallest controller that definitely works with rekordbox, which is the Pioneer DJ DDJ 200. But it doesn't even have an audio interface built in. You can't plug your headphones or speakers into it, which is a bit of a shame. But that's obviously a lot bigger than the tiny little cute DJ to go to style controllers. Hello to Ingi in Valencia, just more or less up the road from us down here in Gibraltar in the south of the Iberian Peninsula. DMX Go is a great way to use DMX without so much knowledge about it, says Dwelt Music. I don't know what DMX Go is, but now we've got those 5 characters in our heads, DMX Go. I'm sure we can go and Google that and find that out. Thank you for the recommendation there. That's back to the question earlier on about how to set up DMX lights, which is basically, it's the same as audio, but it's for lighting. So you have a controller and you have your lights, and they're all linked together with DMX cables, hence where it gets its name. And so you can control all your lights from one place. Right, so let's jump back into our hashtag ask. If you want to ask a question live, that's what we're doing today, answering all your live questions. Hashtag ask, please. The next one I'm going to answer is from, I'm just scanning, DJ R, who says, is there a way to record a set using streaming tracks directly to the iPhone with the DDJ 200? So you're using your little DDJ 200, you're having it set, you've got it set up, DJing on your iPhone, so you're probably using Pioneer's little Wii DJ software on your iPhone. Is there a way of recording the set? There probably is, because you can route audio within the iPhone to other apps. Honestly, I've never tried it. I don't know for sure, DJR. I would try, but there might be a way, but it's not something I've done myself. DJR is on YouTube if you do know an answer to that, and then you can go and help there. Daryl, I am relying on streaming services for music at the moment. I'm using SoundCloud. Any better options? Specializing in old school R&B and hip hop. SoundCloud will be good. I would look at BeatSource as well. You know, you get a free trial for all these things. Just take a look at BeatSource, because they've got a lot of open format stuff, and they're adding a lot more, especially a lot more DJ exclusives at the moment to the service. So go and have a look at BeatSource link. As I say, you can get a month's trial, so have a go. Itachi, just try going into the settings and turning it on in there. It might be nothing more than that. My production team have already got back to David, who's chatting away to them. So David, there is your answer to your question. So apparently the iRig interfaces come with software on your phone to record what's going on. So there we go. Thank you for answering that question. DJ Wardlow wants to know, any new Denon DJ controllers coming by the early next year? I was thinking of buying a Prime 4, but I don't want to invest, and then a new hardware is released next year. I haven't got any news at all about that. What I would say is, if the thing you want to buy now does what you want it to do, then just buy it. Because I don't think there's going to be an awful lot of new hardware at all, because there's hard problems to overcome in the supply chain at the moment, and DJ controllers are quite mature. DJ systems are quite mature now. There's not much that needs to be added to them, and you will have noticed that the releases have slowed down a bit over the previous few years compared to when we started Digital DJ Tips 11 years ago. There was literally new stuff every week, but then there was new advances in technology, but all the advances now are in software and cloud. And you don't need new controllers necessarily to do that. So I would say just buy it and use it. Life's too short. Cracker FPV, this is in answer to our, can you use XLR cables, or rather XLR cables with XLR sockets on, that are meant for DMX lighting, can you use them for audio? And the audio cables would probably work for lighting or the other way around, but sound worse on audio because there's no shielding. And that's exactly my thoughts as well. Keaton says, what new hardware do you think Denon and Pioneer, everyone wants to know this, are going to bring out in 2022? I'm expecting an XZ3 to bring the CDJ 3000 features over. So what you're talking about here, for those people who don't know it, is that Pioneer DJ recently updated its flagship players. This is the CDJ 3000. This is the latest flagship player from Pioneer DJ. This has got much better screens, much faster loading. It's got key lock and key sync. A lot of the stuff that you find on the Denon DJ Prime players. And here's the Denon DJ Prime player. Not all of the stuff, there's no Wi-Fi streaming and stuff like that, but a lot of that stuff is now available on the Pioneer systems for clubs. But these cost thousands each, right? So what's the question there is, you know, is Pioneer DJ going to make standalone DJ controllers, standalone DJ systems that have got the screen built in and you don't need a laptop for, that have the same technology that's in these players? I would guess that they are, because that's what they did last time with the CDJ 2000s. The 2000s came out and then you got the XDJ RX and RX2 and RZ, but we don't have any news on that. So just keep an eye on the news sites, keep an eye on Digital DJ Tips, and as soon as there is something that we can tell you, we will tell you that. But I would imagine that that would be in their plans to produce standalone, more consumer-oriented gear to compete with the Prime 2s and the Prime 4s of this world, which is of course the Denon DJ equivalent standalone to their media players. So yes, I would say that's probably coming. It's an if, not a when, but probably edging towards when are they going to do it rather than if they're going to do it, because you'd think they would, wouldn't you? That's the best I can say on that. Right, so let's carry on with your live questions. Ivan, hi again, Phil. How close is Jazzy Jeff's course to going live? We are all hoping soon. Of course, I can't tell you that. What I can tell you is, there's Jazzy Jeff with myself and Steve and Dan, his production person. This was a meeting that I was on just before we went live today here on the Thursday Q&A Live. I literally finished this meeting and came on to Thursday Q&A Live to chat to you guys and girls. We are working every day on the Jazzy Jeff course right now, and we've been working today on it, and we will be working tomorrow on it, and next week on it, and next month on it, and when it's ready you will get it. If you don't know about this course, it is Digital DJ Tips and Jazzy Jeff producing a course that he's wanted to make pretty much all his life, called How to DJ Right. Jazzy Jeff is very passionate about the DJ culture, pushing it forward, making sure the next generation do it right, and he is thrilled to be making this course with us, as we are with him. It's really awesome that we've got a chance to do this, and How to DJ Right will be how to DJ the way Jazzy Jeff thinks it ought to be done. It's coming. I can't tell you exactly when, but it is coming. We're going to get it right. We're going to get the course right. We don't want to rush it and do anything other than the best job in the world on this course. So if you're interested in it, head over to the Digital DJ Tips website and look for this big win a one-on-one DJ lesson with DJ Jazzy Jeff. Click on that, and then in there you will find a form. Pop your name in it, and it will register your interest in the course, and you can then get a special offer when the course is available. But more importantly, we've got 3 lessons with Jazzy Jeff one-on-one to give away. How cool is that? You can't buy that. Money can't buy that. But we've got 3 to give away, just to say thank you for showing your interest in the course. So why don't you do that? Why don't you head over to Digital DJ Tips, find that advert down in this corner here, to win a lesson, click on it and enter your details, and then we can let you know when the course is ready. It's not going to be ready this week or next week, but we are talking months, not years, you know, so just keep an eye on your inbox. We'll let you know when that happens if you've registered. We're very excited about that, as you can probably guess, because one of the biggest DJs in the world, not only this year, but last year, next year, last decade, next decade, Jazzy Jeff is one of the OGs, right? So can't wait. Right, more Questions. If you do want to ask a question, I've just seen some news here by one of my friends. That wasn't my direct email address, Steve. It was an alias, but yeah, I know what you're saying. My friend Stu Allen is apparently having some health issues. So Stu Allen, let's give Stu Allen some love. Stu Allen is one of the heroes of the Northern dance scene in the 1980s and 1990s due to his shows on Piccadilly Radio and Key 103 in Manchester, England. He was one of the people who introduced me to dance music, and he's also someone who I had the joy of DJing with regularly. And apparently he's suffering at the moment. I don't know why, but thank you someone for making me aware of that. I will be going and seeing what's up with Stu and seeing how we can help him, because we don't want to hear news like that. So thanks for alerting me to that, Ian. I'll be following up that straight afterwards. Sad to hear that. Anyway, total branding success. Hi Phil, I've got a copyright question. I see bass players on Instagram playing bass over tracks. I'd like to add my own instruments over mixes. How do people not get their stuff taken down? I guess if you're adding your bass line over tracks, it's making it harder for the algorithms to spot those tracks, but there's no secret there. As far as I know, there's no secret there. It's just one of those things that you run the risk of it happening to you if you go live on there. So you know, people say talk over the tracks, mix quickly between them, and you might get away with it on Facebook and Instagram. I guess that's what's happening. So apparently it was the software. So you've checked that while we've been live. You don't like my music about, or is that just, I can't remember if it was someone else who had that problem, but yes, it always will be that buffer on your software that causes that. Is it important, this is a great question from Erwin, is it important for a DJ to first create a program before playing a gig? And it kind of is and it kind of isn't. So it is important to think about your set, but you don't necessarily have to plan every mix. In fact, you shouldn't. If you don't think about your set before a gig, you're going to be turning up and you're going to be opening your laptop and you're going to have every track you've ever put into your DJ software to play from. And that's too many tracks. But if you say, I'm playing for an hour, so I'll play 21 tracks, and you plan that mix so it's exactly 60 minutes long, and you rehearse every transition and you just turn up and do it, well, you might as well have just recorded that set and hit play at the beginning and sat back like this. Because DJing isn't about being able to mechanically mix between one track and another. It's about choosing the tracks to do that with. And the only way you can choose the tracks to do that with is by looking out at the dance floor and saying, what do they want next? What's the right track to play next? Choosing that track and then mixing it in. So the way to do this is to pick about twice the music that you're actually going to end up playing and put it into a playlist. So let's say you were playing for an hour, 20 tracks, pick 40 tracks and put those into a playlist and put that in your DJ software. And then as long as you think hard about those 40 tracks, you've got enough tracks in that playlist to decide which track you're going to play next, which track you're going to play next, which track you're going to play next, without being overwhelmed by this just rush of tracks, you know, 1,000 tracks or whatever you've got in your collection. It comes from the old vinyl days, right? So in the old days when we had vinyl, here's some of my vinyl that's made it with me over the years, we could only pack one box of vinyl, or maybe two if it was a big gig. So that would be 80 tracks or 160 tracks if you took two boxes. And so that's not all your collection, right? So you had to think very hard about all the tracks you were going to take with you. Nowadays, you are literally, in inverted commas, only taking those tracks, because in fact you've got all your other tracks there as well, right? Because they're all on the computer. But if you have a playlist of just double the amount of music you think you're going to need, that means that you will have done a lot of the thinking beforehand, but not all of the thinking beforehand. And you've still got room to move about and decide, yeah, I'll play that. I won't play that this week. Actually, I'll maybe play that another time. And, you know, at the end of your set, if you took out of that playlist all the tracks you've played, what's left is another complete playlist that you could have played. So you have been making choices and you have been reacting to the crowd in front of you, but you did some homework beforehand. That's the best way to go about planning your sets ahead of time. One or two more questions, people, then I gotta go. This is from Philip. How easy is it to maintain multiple Dropbox accounts on the same computer? I have a personal and a corporate account, but I wouldn't mind a separate one just for music. I would say just keep a separate folder for music in the one account. I've never tried to maintain two, so I don't know if you can do that. Darren says, my first paid gig in over 2 years. My nerves are shot. Any tips on keeping calm? Yep, my biggest tip on keeping calm is to head over to the Digital DJ Tips website, digitaldjtips.com, and search for our articles on this very thing, because we've got lots of them. But the biggest tip I can give you, a single tip, is preparation. The more prepared you are, the less nervous you will get. But if you search for nerves, you will find loads of how can I calm my nerves at my gigs type things, how top DJs deal with nerves before gigs, and so on. We've got plenty of advice here about this stuff. So do go and take a look at that. You could also search for confidence. You could search for confidence. I think it's probably a good one, because we've got articles that mention confidence as well. The good thing about there you go, 13 DJ fears and nightmares and how to avoid them. That was actually posted just a couple of days ago for Halloween. We've also got dreading your next gig, here's what to do, and things like this. And I searched confidence to get to those things. So go take a look. Digital DJ Tips with keywords is a real power way of using our website, because we've got over 10 years of articles, tutorials, advice, and so on up there. All right, people, we are done here today. I've got to go. Places to see, people to do, as they say. I will be back here on Tuesday next week for Tuesday Tips Live. I'm back here next Thursday for Thursday Q&A Live at the same time, 3 p.m. London, 10 a.m. Eastern. If you haven't had your question answered today, all is not lost if your question was asked on Facebook, because my team will get to you there and try and give you an answer there. So do try and tune in on Facebook if you can for these live shows. I will see you after the weekend. Have a good one, people. Get good, get out there, make the moments, and until next time, goodbye.